He who builds according to every man's advice will have a crooked house. That's a Danish proverb that I so profoundly agree with. And here's how. Now, imagine you're at the beauty counter in your favorite department store, and the sunscreen you need is in stock. It's like right there. You can see it through the glass. However, because it's locked in a glass case, you have to approach the sales associate to get you the sunscreen. What a tragedy. It's just a tragedy. You have to ask her to give you the skin saver from out of the glass case. And it's a tragedy because rather than her just handing you the sunscreen, here you are, or checking you out, she wants to sell you every other item, a skin cream, or skin lotion, or serum, or some kind of skin mist, all promising to minimize those very visible crow's feet on both sides of your eyes. How do I know? Because I'm there right now. I have crow's feet visible over here and over here. And I'm like, oh my goodness, what can I do to get rid of these suckers very fast? And so here's this sales associate promising you everything to minimize those crow's feet, the laugh lines, the premature wrinkles. It's like the whole 9 yards. She has an answer for every problem. And it's tempting because it all sounds good and promising. The words coming out of her mouth sound so good. And you're like, this is very tempting. And I know I want to get rid of these crow's feet. And she's saying it's good. You know, she's been working here forever. If she's saying it's good, then it must be. If she's saying it's the store's best seller and everyone else is buying it, shouldn't I buy it too? And I thought about it for a moment. And I realized that just because something sounds good doesn't make it true. It doesn't make it right. In his book, How Successful People Think, it's one of my favorite little books that I read through often. I mark up often. I put little tabbies in. John C. Maxwell states, it's easier to do what other people do and hope they thought it out. Do you know how powerful that is? It's easier to do what other people do and hope they thought it out. It's easier to buy the product because it's a bestseller, because everyone is buying it. But are they really buying it because they need it, or are they buying it because they've been told that everybody else is buying it? And if everybody else is buying it, then it must be good. It must be the answers to my problems. Yet history has taught us over and over and over again that most people, not you, not me, but you know somebody, just like I know somebody, that act without thought. They act without thinking. And that's dangerous because acting without thought leads to an early demise. Now, that's not some kind of scare tactic. I never do that. For instance, this experience of buying sunscreen and the one life lesson, a valuable life lesson that it taught me, advice is still advice. However, it's not always relevant, useful, or valuable. That is so good. Advice is still advice. Anybody can give you advice. People you know, people you don't know, people you're hoping to know. But just because they give you advice doesn't mean it's always helpful, relevant, or useful. So in other words, just because someone tells you something does not make it law. This is especially relevant when your intuition cautions you to do something differently and to behave differently and to think differently. So just because everybody else is doing something doesn't mean you need to do something yet. Just because everybody else thinks one way doesn't mean you have to think the same way, because he who builds according to every man's advice will have a crooked house. And to simplify that Danish proverb, that simply means that taking advice at face value without using discernment, without listening to your intuition, can lead to misalignment of who you are, your personal goals, your actions, and your authenticity. And authenticity is so important because without it, you make poor decisions and you're easily manipulated. And one of the goals of life is never becoming so gullible that you're easily manipulated. Because the world will definitely try to manipulate you, especially if you're a gullible person. And so that's why understanding advice and properly applying it is so critical. I want to leave you all with something when it comes to advice that I've learned, and I know it will help you. When it comes to advice, the goal is to use it wisely, to evaluate the source. In my case, it was the sales associate who needed to make sales, even if it was at my expense. She didn't have my well-being in the forefront of her trying to push me to buy all of these different products. Also, make sure the advice aligns with you and your goals. Very, very important. Trust your instincts, your intuition. It's a gift. Listen to it. And also implement all advice gradually. Like I said before, anybody can give you advice. It doesn't mean that it's irrelevant. This is the balanced approach to advice because it ensures that you make informed decisions that benefit your overall well-being in your life. And that's what you want, right? I know that's what I want. I'm taking advice very cautiously here on out, especially learning this life lesson. And you know what's funny? I did not think I'd learn such a valuable lesson at the beauty counter in a department store. But that just goes to show that you can learn life's lessons anywhere. You either take them and learn from them, or you become so gullible that you're easily manipulated. And because you are so awesome and wise and brilliant, I know you're going to choose the first option, to take life's lessons and learn from them without allowing yourself to become so gullible that you're easily manipulated. So if I had to sum it all up, I just tell you to use wisdom when taking advice from others and when giving advice. We don't think about it like that, but use wisdom when taking advice and when giving advice. Also, listen and respect your intuition. And always, 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 my friend, think for yourself, because that truly is the making of an icon. I am author and healer Katie Gates, and this is the place where I help women like you and me become the best people that we can be. If that is your thing, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and also, if you can relate to anything that I have said in this video, drop me a comment, leave me a pineapple or an apple in the comment section to let me know. Until next time, I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.